Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Tyler Chanel, aka the Marketing Bully, and today I'm going to build a product match quiz for a skincare brand and walk you guys through it from start to finish. So we're going to start off with writing out the questions and answers in a Google Doc. Then we're going to go over to Canva and get all of the imagery together that we want to use, and then we're going to finally create the quiz. I want to give you this full experience so that I can help you understand how to get the results that I share online all the time. Let's just go ahead and dive in. We're going to start off with going through Google Docs, Canva, and then finally I'm going to introduce you to the quiz app that I like to use, which is called Octane AI. If you end up liking this tool, go ahead and check down in the description box. I am an Octane AI partner, so you can sign up on a free trial and try it today. All right, so we're starting off in Google Doc. I've already written out the questions, the answers, the type of questions, and I'm gonna give you a quick run through just to explain why I do things this way and why I believe that it'll be beneficial for you. First, I created product categories for this client so I could better understand the types of questions that I needed to create, how many of each, and how many sections this quiz would actually end up having in the end. So this client ended up having four product categories: hair oil, bar soap, yoni care, and facial products. I start off each quiz with general questions, which is just, what is your name and what is your email? I like to ask these questions at the beginning so that I can ensure that I collect their information, whether they take the quiz or not. And if they don't finish the quiz, I can always invite them to come back and take it for a little incentive. Next, I like to just go ahead and dive in and get started trying to figure out what specifically they need help with. So we'll start off with identifying a problem that they have. If they answer any of these first three, they're going to get questions solely related to hair care. If they answer any of these three, they'll get questions related to to body care. If they answer with a yoni care, then they'll get things about vaginal products. And if they answer face care, then they'll get things about facials. And then we go through and create questions for each of those. So we have questions for hair, body, and vaginal and face. So with starting with hair, I just asked them, how long have you experienced these things? This is a multiple choice question. I always identify what type of question I want it to be so that when I'm setting it up, I'm not trying to decide. Softwares have a lot of different functions and buttons and options. And so to minimize feeling overwhelmed when you're doing something, I like to try and plan as much of it as possible in Google Docs. Next, I like to, the next question was, what all have you tried? And I gave answers that were relevant to the products that we offer. She does not sell vitamins, but her hair oils and hair products are vitamin and nutrient rich. She does not sell herbal treatments, but her hair oils are steeped in oil. She is not a dermatologist, but it's good to know if they have been to one, if they feel like their condition is that serious, and lets us know that like they need more educational content on what they're experiencing. And if they're into scalp massages and protective styles, then they need hair oil. So either way, majority of the answer choices reflect that. Then we go into where specifically they're experiencing hair issues so that we'll better know what type of educational content to send to them. And then we also ask them, are they allergic to anything? If they're allergic to any of these, they automatically cannot use the hair oil product. And so they'll go to it, a screen that lets them know this and then redirects them to take the quiz, to finish the quiz, but relevant to other products. Now, we for the body care, I asked them, what area of their body they want to focus on. I do check boxes. I made this multi-choice so they could pick up to three. I set that up in the quiz as well. I asked them what specifically they're trying to get rid of. This lets me know what products to recommend. Do they prefer bar or liquid soap? This client offers both, and so they get a bit of variety depending on which one they ask for. And then we ask them what their biggest concerns are, which again is going to let us know what type of products to recommend. The last section is about face care, and I asked them about like their budget because I don't want to recommend products they can't afford. And I asked them what are they trying to get rid of on their face and what their skincare routine is like. I don't want to recommend products that are super sophisticated or require multi everyday use for months at a time if they're not going to be able to commit to that. If they're a low effort skincare person, person, and I want to make sure that the results that they get at the end of the quiz reflect that. Now, I like to write out my quiz before I actually open any kind of tool to do anything else, because doing this allows me to better understand what's going to be happening in my quiz, the different design elements that I need, and how I want my quiz to function and how I want it to flow together. Next, I'm going to go over the imagery that I chose in Canva. All right, so when we go over to Canva, we're going to have two different file sizes. The first one is these big square ones, and then the next one is going to be these header style images. So the big square ones are going to be the ones that I'm going to use when I do multiple choice with picture options, because I want them to be able to see the options like big and up close. And then these are going to be when I only put like one picture per question. And so I'll go through y'all the pictures that I chose real quick and just kind of explain why. All of the pictures that I have on here, I did not get from Canva. Some of them I found on Google. Some of them I found from stock websites. Some of them my client provided them. And then some I did get from Canva. And so it's a big mix. You might have to do research and pull imagery from multiple sources to get the type of imagery that you want for your quiz. And so I chose this one for like the hair thinning question. This one is the next couple are for the question about where are you noticing breakage at, like the middle of your head, on your ends, at the nape of your neck. And then this one is for what type of soap do you prefer? And then for the header images, I love this picture of the owner of this brand. So we're using this one as kind of like one of the intro pictures. And then for this one, we'll be talking about, what have you been doing to actually treat your hair condition? For this one, we're talking about like, how long have you been going through this or noticed breakage? This one we're using for the allergy question, like, are you allergic to any of these things? And this works great because many of the things here are actually in her ingredients. This one is for a body care question. This one is about the question about like what area do you want to target, and this one is for a yoni care, and this one is for facial care. I kept the imagery simple, straight and to the point. Most of my questions do not have pictures directly attached to them, and so it really minimized how many pictures I had to put together to be able to do this successfully. All right, so now that we have the quiz written out in Google Doc and we created and chose all the imagery in Canva, ready to start setting things up in Octane AI. I have already set everything up in Octane, so I'm going to give you a walkthrough on what I did and why I did it that way. And then I'll give you a quick overview of how to actually install this onto your Shopify website, and setting up your web page there. And then I'll show you what the final quiz looks like, and then we'll be done. So if you found this helpful, make sure you drop a comment down below. Let me know and share it across socials and tag me at Marketing Bully. All right, so now that we're in Octane, this is what it looks like when a quiz is set up and you're not actually looking at one of the pages. And so the first page that we actually set up is like the cover page or like an explainer page. And so this is just what it looks like when it's spread across, but we can look and see like what it looks like on mobile. Most people will be taking the quiz on mobile, and so this is the view that I care about most, but I do design them in desktop. So first I come up with like a title. I do like to experiment with the title. Unsure of where to start. Take our 1 minute self-care quiz. Blah blah blah. The header and the call to action. So after like 7 days, because we just launched this quiz today. So after like 7 days, I'm gonna go back and look at the data and experiment with the headline, the tagline, and the call to action. So right now it just says continue, but I'm going to change this to say start quiz. All right. So always also make sure autosave is on, because if autosave is not on, you'll do a bunch of work and then the tool may glitch and delete it. I've had that happen to me before. So now just start creating the questions that I wrote in Google Docs. So first I started with my introductory questions, which is like first name. And remember I said this was open-ended. And so in order to get this option though, I'm gonna scroll down here to add page, and then I can choose what type of question that I want to ask. So I can ask for like an email, I can ask for a phone number, or I can tell them that I want to collect text. In order to get a first name, you got to collect text. And then in order to collect the email, then you'll choose that option. So I got my first name, and that's what that page looks like. And then I have the email page, which is what this page looks like. And then we go into the very first question, which is, what can we help you treat today? And this is where I actually end up using that picture of her that I love so much. She looks so friendly right here. And keeping your quizzes friendly, and with warm, inviting faces and imagery that is relevant to what you're discussing is very important. All right, so once we paste the question up here, which is what goes in the title, if you want to add more explainer text, you can add a subtitle down here. Here, you can choose how you want your questions to be laid out. Now, I chose horizontal, but you can make them stacked. You can also do columns, you can do radio, or you can do a drop down option. I'm just going to do horizontal because that was cool, but I can also do stacked as well. And then we can also allow multiple choices to be selected. So I'll update it and allow them to select up to 3 answers. Now, down here in the answer choices, you can click add multiple answers and then copy and paste over all of your answers that you typed in Google Doc, and then put commas in between each one, and it'll populate and add all of these. And it explains it right here for you as well and shows you how it should look. And then you can click clear previous answers to delete things that you don't want on there. Once you get all your answer choices and your question and your imagery added, then you'll come down here and look for advanced logic conditional navigation. Now, as a disclaimer, this feature is not free. In order to unlock advanced logic, you do have to upgrade to the plan that is $200 a month, just so you know. But doing this allows you to determine what where people are going to go once they choose a specific answer. All right, so I'm gonna change this back because I don't want to uncheck that. So I don't want to have to be changing the logic, but I can always go back and change that back to allow them to select multiple. So with the way that I have it set, on the logic, if they choose an answer for dry hair, thinning edges, or irritated scalp, then I want them to jump to the question for how long have you experienced thin edges, and so on and so forth. If they choose an answer for body care, I want them to go to, are they allergic to any of the following ingredients? If they choose yoni care, I want to find out, do they like bar or liquid soap? And if they choose face care, I want to know what they want to get rid of with their face. And so all I have to do is just click add rule, and then I can choose if they answer for hyperpigmentation, I want to jump them to one of these other pages that I've created. Now, you cannot do conditional logic until the entire quiz is done. So you have to go through and set up all the questions and all the answers and all your imagery, and then go back and do the conditional logic, because otherwise you don't have anything to link it to. You don't have any other pages for things to jump to. So once we set up this first question, then we'll go through and just set up all the other ones that we have created. Now, the question about, are you allergic to any of these things, is a really interesting to me, because I don't see a lot of companies do this with their quizzes, but I really believe that they should. So if they check that they are allergic to any of these options, they'll immediately go to this page, which is at this time you cannot safely use our hair voodoo oil. And I'll also change this to hair voodoo oil or hair voodoo oil or all right. And so I'm gonna save that. So that's what that page looks like. Once they get done, they'll go to a page that looks like this for calculating your results. I already have like a discount code on here for everyone. It's just a standard code that I want them to use to kind of entice them to actually buy the products that they'll be getting referred for. And so this is what it looks like when you choose to set up a question that uses like a picture to go along with the answer choice. And then this little sign right here lets you know that it contains conditional logic. And so it means that if they answer a certain way, then they'll be directed to a certain question. All of my questions have conditional logic, but not all of them use advanced. For some of them, I don't do it based off of what answer they chose, because if they are already categorized by like these three, then they are already put into a subsection of what questions they need to get and in what order. So it's not necessary to do the advanced conditional logic on all of them. I really just use it for the questions that are specific and relevant to the types of products that I want them to be referred to, the categories that their referral products are going to be in. And then after that, I can just tell it what question I want to come next. So if they tell me that they need help with their hair, in the first question, then the next question they'll get is, how long have you experienced these things? And then down here for advanced conditional logic, I can say from this section, always go to this question: are you allergic to any of the following ingredients? And then it'll take them to that page that I just showed you. If they check that they are allergic, if they're not allergic to anything, then they will get to go and like explain like what their budget is, and then they'll go through the process of having products recommended to them. Once you finish that, then you can go through and like do the design. You can choose like your layout. You can do typography and decide what you want your fonts to look like and the different sections, your form elements, and all of that jazz. After that, then you can choose like colors and styles, background, spacing, and if you're a computer programmer, they do have it to where you can do custom CSS if you want to add animations and stuff. You can also add animations by doing GIFs and Canva, and then uploading those images as like a background image within your quiz. I actually did this for one of my other clients' skincare quiz. I'll show you what that looks like real quick. So the bees flying around in the background, that's a GIF. And that's how I was able to put that together for them. So you could do that as well, just using Canva. You don't have to be a computer programmer. So then on the settings, I'll just name the quiz, and then you can decide, if you want to go through and do all of these other things like add to cart behavior and what you want to happen and all that jazz. Next, you can go through to products at the top, and you'll be able to start matching the products. And you can choose like which products I want to have the highest recommendation and which products I want to have the lowest recommendation. And then you can also do it with a point system, by changing the rank based on how they continue to answer questions as the quiz progresses. So all you got to do is just click add products, and you can add entire collections. You can do it based off of the tags that you set for products in your store, or you can do it based off of like specific products that you search for. And you can also hide products that are out of stock, so that you're not accidentally tying things to the quiz that you do not have available. You have to go through and do this for each answer choice on each question that you set up. So this is the first question. Then I have to go through, and this question does not require it, so there's not any, because it's just like a time question. How long have you been going through this? This one does not require any, because I know that this is about hair care. So the next logical question that they'll get is already going to recommend them to hair care. Where did you notice the breakage? Does not matter. I'm going to recommend hair oil anyway. Now, when I get down here to what area of the skin do you want to target, this does require products, because there's 4 different areas for them to choose from. So there's 4 different product categories to choose from. When I ask them, do they prefer bar or liquid soap? Then they'll get product recommendations for that, and so on and so forth. And so it really just depends on what the question is to determine if you need to tie products to it, or if you only need to send them to the next question because they're already in line to get recommended a certain type of product as it is. Once you finish this, then you will go to connect, and you can connect it to Klaviyo. and it'll walk you through and explain how to do it. It doesn't have it on here because I've already connected it for this client. You can also connect it to Google Analytics, and you can connect it to a Metapixel. Once you finish that, then you can go to publish, and then I just like to do a Shopify page embed, and I'll click that blue button that said go to page embed settings, and then I chose a page body. I don't want it to fully pop up. I still want the rest of the website to remain visible. I find that I have a higher completion rate that way, but every brand is different. So once I do that, then I just leave the standard match browser height. This is the code that you need to be able to get this to connect with your Shopify store. All right, and so now that we have the code, I copied it. I'll go over how to connect it. So go ahead and click add page, add a title, and then click these two little backward facing triangles with a slash in the middle. This is your show HTML button. And this is where you're going to paste the code in. And so I've already set mine up. And so here we'll click this. I did make a couple changes to the quiz. I went ahead and changed the title to something that I like better. I also went ahead and made it a full page quiz because the images are big and I want them to show properly, whether on mobile or desktop. So I did a little bit of testing while I was making this video. Again, you'll figure out what works best for you. All right, and so this is what it looks like when they first start the quiz. So now I can click start quiz, and I'll just start entering in my info. So make sure that you have these options unchecked. So on the first name one, make sure you do not check allow question to be skipped. You want them to tell you their first name. On the email, make sure you don't have this skipped either. Now, you can check, don't ask if they already opted in. I'm not gonna leave it unchecked because I want them to put their email in because I want their profile to be updated just in case there's like a lag in software or something. I don't have to worry about that if they actually type their email in. Some people do take the quizzes multiple times. All right, so now we're back into the quiz. So I did that. I'm gonna put my email and I'm gonna click submit. And then I'm going to say that I am experiencing, I want help with yoni care and health, and I prefer liquid soap. So I'm gonna put that I'm struggling with discoloration, and then I would describe. How would I describe my skin, body, or hair care routine? I'll put I don't have a routine, and I'll put that my budget is $30 to $60 a month, and now it's going to be calculating results. And then these are the results page. And it also lets me know if there are like varying options, which I really like because they can decide if they want a small or a big bottle. And then I let them know up here that this is a discount code that they can use at checkout. So now all they got to do is just decide, all right, I'm going to get that. I'm going to get this. I'm going to get this one too. And then they can just click view cart and it'll take them to their cart. So I already have like some extra things in here from just testing out the quiz. And so I had already typed in my discount code, but I could take off the discount code. It will not automatically apply for people. They will have to actually type it in. And then once I do that, it'll take it off and show them that it's applied. Making product match quizzes is tedious and it's time consuming. It took me about a week to put this quiz together between writing out the content, planning out the content, going through the products, reviewing the ingredients to get the list together about things that people could potentially be allergic to, corresponding with my client, as well as getting it approved by the client, and going back and doing all the conditional logic and the copywriting for everything, plus choosing images. So if it takes you a while, it's not just you. When you make quizzes this detailed, they are going to take a minute. Now, you can make your quizzes more simple if you just focus on like one collection of products. This quiz is more advanced because it's focusing on all the products on her website, which she has a few dozen of. So if you need help with setting up a quiz, feel free to email me. My email is down in the box below, and we can talk about what kind of quiz you'd like for me to set up and what your budget is, and I'll let you know what I'm able to to do for you. If you're interested in trying Octane AI, make sure you check down below and sign up using my partner referral link, and drop a comment if you found this video helpful. As always, I wish you nothing but success. I hope to see you on the timeline winning. And when you finish your quiz based on my recommendations, shoot me a DM on any social platforms or email, and I'm happy to review your quiz for you and take it to let you know if it's functioning in your vision.